What if I told you that everything you believe about love, soulmates, romance, passion wasn't just wrong, but a carefully dressed illusion? Arthur Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't write love poems. He didn't chase butterflies in meadows. He ripped the mask off love and exposed it for what it truly is. A biological trap. A cruel trick nature plays on us to keep the species alive while making us believe we're chasing something divine. To Schopenhauer, love isn't sacred. It's strategic, calculated, instinctual. It draws you in not to complete your soul, but to serve reproduction and then disappear, leaving you with emotional wreckage. Brutal, yes, but freeing even more. Because when you stop romanticizing love, you start mastering it. You stop chasing idealized women. You start building real strength, the kind that doesn't collapse when affection is withdrawn. Right now, you're either a man lost in illusion or a man waking up. If you're ready to confront the truth, like this video, subscribe, turn on the bell, and comment below. I see through the illusion. Let's dive into Schopenhauer's most savage but liberating truths about modern love. Number 1. Love in the age of ego. The illusion that drains you. Have you ever chased someone not because they truly saw you, but because they made you feel unseen without them? That hollow ache, that quiet desperation we disguise as love, is one of the greatest illusions of our age. And Schopenhauer, grim as he was, saw it centuries ago. He stripped love bare of poetry and exposed its raw machinery. Not a divine union, but a biological trap dressed in dopamine and dreams. Modern love isn't about connection, it's about ego. It's the endless scroll on dating apps where profiles read more like curated resumes than glimpses into a soul. It's a marketplace of attention, not affection. In Schopenhauer's eyes, what we call falling in love is nature manipulating us to reproduce, to serve the blind will to life. You think you're chasing her because of some spiritual spark, but the truth is you're caught in nature's web, seeking her not for who she is, but for the role she plays in your unconscious script of survival. Look around. Most relationships today are built not on respect or resonance, but on the fear of being alone, on the need to be seen, on the thrill of temporary highs. It's not about building a life with someone, it's about escaping your own loneliness. And the moment she pulls away, you feel empty. Not because she was your soulmate, but because your ego didn't get its fix. Schopenhauer didn't believe in soulmates. To him, love was the illusion nature used to ensure the species continues. And when you truly absorb that something inside you shifts, you stop romanticizing confusion. You stop glorifying mixed signals. You stop tolerating women who treat your attention as a toy. A Stoic man doesn't chase love to feel whole. He is whole first. He chooses love not from hunger but from abundance. He doesn't drown in dopamine. He holds his line. He is aware of the biological urge, but he owns it rather than being owned by it. So how do you escape this age of ego-driven romance? Start by asking the hard questions. Am I with her because she expands me or because she temporarily silences my emptiness? Am I showing up as a man or just another boy, hoping to be chosen? Stop outsourcing your worth to her attention. It's the first sign you're drifting away from your masculine center. Modern love tells you to chase chemistry. Stoicism tells you to pursue clarity. Schopenhauer tells you to unmask love's biology. And when you combine all three, you no longer fear being alone. You start fearing the wrong attachment. That is power. Now speak out and comment below. I am not a slave to illusion. I choose clarity over chaos. Number 2. The trap of beauty. How nature uses her to control you. She walks into the room and everything shifts. Your pulse quickens, your focus narrows, and you feel chosen, like the universe whispered your name through her smile. But pause. What if that reaction isn't destiny? What if it's biology hijacking your mind? Schopenhauer saw through it all. He warned that beauty isn't a gift, it's a weapon, a carefully crafted trick of nature to lure you into servitude. To him, the symmetrical face, the alluring curves, the delicate features, none of it speaks to virtue. It's not her soul calling you. It's evolution playing its oldest game. Reproduction masked as romance. You think you're in love, but in truth you're intoxicated by design. She becomes your obsession not because she has proven herself worthy, but because your primal mind associates her traits with fertility, with survival. And so you chase, you submit, you lose your center. Here's the trap. When men see beauty, they project goodness onto it. She's not just pretty, she must be kind, deep, loving. But that's the illusion. That's the bait. You fall for the appearance, and suddenly you're blind to the absence of substance. You overlook red flags. You excuse disrespect. You tolerate emotional chaos, all because you feel lucky she chose you. Schopenhauer said, man is the will to desire. Woman is the object of desire. And that imbalance gives her unspoken power. When you're starving for her gaze, her approval, her body, you become weak. And women even unconsciously sense this hunger. The moment you let beauty define your behavior, you hand over your dignity. You let the primal override the rational. But a Stoic man, he doesn't reject beauty, he repositions it. He sees it as it is, fleeting, common, and ultimately irrelevant to the quality of a soul. He doesn't rush to possess, he observes. He doesn't project meaning, he waits to see substance. And when he sees that beauty is not backed by character, he walks away untouched, unmoved. It's not that you shouldn't desire her, it's that your desire should never dictate your behavior. Want her, admire her, but don't need her. Don't worship her. That's how you break the spell. So the next time a beautiful woman enters your life, ask, what part of me is responding, my will or my wisdom? Because the one you choose determines whether you lead or lose. Now speak out and comment below. I see beauty clearly, it no longer blinds me. Number 3. The lie of romantic idealism. Why you're not looking for love, but for yourself. You've been told love is sacred, that somewhere out there someone holds the missing half of your soul. You've grown up watching movies where lovers run through airports, cry in the rain fight, and reunite all to find their forever. But let's be honest, how many times has this belief left you broken, chasing someone who never truly saw you? Schopenhauer tore the mask off this fantasy. To him, romantic idealism is the most elaborate lie ever sold. Love isn't the union of two pure spirits. It's a biological transaction dressed in poetry. We say we want connection, but what we're really chasing is validation. We're not in love with them, we're in love with how they make us feel. Think about it. When was the last time you fell for someone because of their virtue? Or was it how they laughed at your jokes? How they made you feel wanted? How they filled the silence of your own self-doubt? You weren't looking for a person, you were looking for a mirror. And when they stopped reflecting what you craved, the love faded. Schopenhauer didn't just critique love, he exposed its core. He believed love is self-serving, a manipulation of instincts to preserve the species, not because we're evil, but because we're biological. And once you see this, you stop being a fool. You start choosing clarity over chemistry. The modern world makes this illusion even more dangerous. With apps, filters, endless options, we're not connecting, we're comparing. We're not listening, we're performing. The result, fragile bonds built on dopamine and fear. You don't love her, you love the idea of being loved by her. But here's the Stoic truth. Real love begins when you stop needing. When you're already full, already at peace, and you choose someone not to complete you, but to walk beside you. That kind of love is rare, it's quiet, it doesn't chase or demand, it observes, it respects, it gives without grasping. You want a real relationship. Start here. Would you still want her if she didn't make you feel special? If she didn't soothe your wounds or admire your image? Would you still choose her soul? Because Schopenhauer's warning remains. The more you chase the fantasy, the further you fall from truth. And in that fall, you lose yourself. Now speak out and comment below. I choose truth over fantasy always. Number 4. Desire will destroy you unless you own it first. How lust becomes your cage. Desire is subtle at first. You see her, you admire her. A glance turns into a craving. Soon she's not just a woman, she's the answer to your restlessness. You replay her words, decode her texts, wait for replies like a gambler waiting for the next card. And before you know it, your day, your purpose, your emotional weather all revolve around her. Schopenhauer saw this with piercing clarity. He called it the will to life, that primal drive for reproduction disguised as romance. And when left unchecked, it becomes obsession, not love, not admiration, but slavery to a need you don't even understand. She doesn't have to demand anything. Your own mind will do it for her. What does it look like? You drop your priorities. You say yes when you mean no. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You forgive when you shouldn't. You apologize for your standards. And still she pulls away, because the moment a man becomes desperate, he loses his gravity. A woman may flirt with desire, but she respects detachment. Craving is repellent. Power is magnetic. Here's the brutal truth. When you act from need, you teach her that she is the prize, and you are the beggar. You place her on a pedestal built from your self-abandonment, and no Stoic man begs for what he already has within. Schopenhauer warned us, those who chase satisfaction through others will never be free, because desire is a moving target. Today, it's her attention. Tomorrow, it's her commitment. Then her approval, her loyalty, her softness. It never ends. But when you pull back and say, I want her, but I don't need her, everything changes. You return to yourself. You step out of the cage. This doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you recognize the difference between passion and possession, between choosing and clinging, and most of all, between strength and surrendering your will to fleeting emotions. The Stoics knew this too. Epictetus said, freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it. Imagine how powerful you become when you're no longer ruled by the dopamine she triggers, but by the discipline you choose. When her silence doesn't shake you and her beauty doesn't blind you. When you no longer act from hunger, but from purpose. And then something magical happens. She starts to chase. Not because you played a game, but because she senses a man who cannot be shaken. A man who wants her yet would walk away with dignity if she failed to meet him with respect. Control your desire, or it will control you. Now speak out and comment below. I own my desire. It doesn't own me. Number 5. The only love that survives. When two complete souls choose each other. What if I told you that true love begins where need ends, that the deepest connection is not found in craving or in the rush of dopamine, but in the silence between two souls who no longer need to impress or possess? Schopenhauer, as cold as his view of love may seem, offers us a strange gift: clarity. He strips love of its decorations, showing us the raw machinery underneath desire, biology, ego. But once you see the illusion, you become free to build something real. And that's where the rarest kind of love lives. A love not born from fear of being alone, but from strength in solitude. A love not used to fill a void, but chosen to share the abundance within. This love happens when two people are already whole. They're not seeking completion, they're seeking alignment. They are grounded in who they are. They have walked through fire, they have confronted their own shadows. And when they meet, it's not a collision, it's a convergence, a stillness, a deep recognition. This is not romance as Hollywood sells it. This is not you complete me or I can't live without you. That's dependence, not devotion. In true love, you can walk away, and that's exactly why you choose to stay. You're not compelled. You're not desperate. You are free, and so is she. Imagine a relationship where you don't fear losing her because you know your life is already full. Where her presence is a blessing, not a requirement. Where love doesn't shrink your world, but expands your soul. That's the love Schopenhauer would have respected, even if he doubted it could last. And here's the truth women don't often speak aloud. They are drawn to men who do not need them, not because they want to feel unwanted, but because they feel safe with someone who is not emotionally fragile, someone who holds his ground, someone who can admire her beauty but still walk away if she disrespects his peace. This kind of man is rare, and this kind of love is rarer still. So how do you create it? You build your life. You chase purpose. You master silence. You become a man who doesn't seek love to feel whole, but offers it because you already are. You practice presence, not performance. You listen without trying to fix. You love without trying to control. You offer without expecting. You let go when it no longer serves the truth. And if someone chooses you from that place, honor it, but never become less just to keep them. That is the only love that survives. Now comment below. My wholeness attracts, my freedom chooses. Number 6. Escaping the illusion, reclaiming your power in a world of romantic deception. Why do we keep chasing people who make us feel small? Why do we cling to those who give us breadcrumbs, hoping one day it will turn into a feast? The answer lies in an illusion, a romantic mirage created by biology, ego, and fantasy. Schopenhauer shattered this illusion with brutal honesty. He saw love not as salvation, but as strategy, a trick of nature, he said, designed to fool us into propagation and the modern world. It's only perfected that illusion. Swipes, likes, emojis, and ghostings, tools of a deeper game we often don't realize we're playing. But if you're here reading this, something in you already knows. You've felt the hollowness. You've tasted the high of being wanted and the crash of being discarded. You've experienced how modern love can make you feel like both a king and a beggar, sometimes in the same week. You're not alone. I've been there too. Obsessed with a woman who said all the right things but whose actions screamed confusion. Addicted to the dopamine spikes from a message, a photo, a memory. And all the while losing pieces of myself, purpose, peace, pride. But here's what Stoicism taught me. Nothing controls you unless you allow it to. No person, no emotion, no rejection has the power to shake your core unless your core is hollow. You take back that power by facing the truth. Love, as it's sold today, is often a seduction of weakness. The fantasy is designed to make you chase, and chasing kills your self-respect. Instead, stand still, look at your reflection, and ask, would I want someone like me right now? Am I grounded, driven, dignified, or am I needy, reactive, and hoping someone else saves me? The Stoic answer is clear. Build yourself first. Cultivate inner stillness, strong principles, and emotional clarity. Don't seek women to fill your time. Build a life that no woman can distract you from. When you become that man, something beautiful happens. You stop being obsessed with love. You start attracting it without effort. Because the love worth having isn't found by pursuit, it's revealed by presence. That's the final insight Schopenhauer gave us without saying it directly. Once you know the illusion, you are free to choose truth. You're no longer manipulated by nature. You become the master of yourself. So stop asking if she likes you. Ask if you like who you are around her. Stop measuring your worth by her reactions. Start measuring it by your actions. This is how you become unfuckwithable, unshakable. undeniably magnetic, not because you're trying to be, but because truth always draws in what illusion repels. Now, speak out and comment below. I choose truth over fantasy always. ChatGPT Janoi. Number 7. The final form of love, when two independent souls choose each other. What if the highest form of love isn't about finding your missing piece, but standing whole and still choosing someone? That's what Schopenhauer hinted at beneath all his cynicism. While he deconstructed the illusion of love, he also left a hidden clue. True love survives only when built between two complete individuals, not two dependent ones. Most people today seek validation, not connection. They want someone to heal their wounds, fill their time, make them feel enough. But what happens when that person doesn't perform? Disappointment, resentment, chaos. Schopenhauer saw this. To him, love was often just disguised need. But in rare cases, it could evolve into something purer, a connection not based on survival, but on sovereignty. Imagine two people who are not desperate to be loved, but who already respect themselves. Two who don't cling to each other out of fear, but walk side by side in admiration. Two who could leave at any time, but choose to stay every single day. That's not fantasy, that's power. And it's rare because it requires both parties to kill their ego first. You don't get there by begging for attention or sacrificing your standards. You get there by living with integrity, by becoming someone who doesn't need love but who honors it when it's real. This is Stoic love. Quiet, steady, humble. It's not loud or jealous or obsessive. It's rooted in respect. It says, "You are free to go and I will still be whole." But it also says, "You are free to stay and I will honor you not because I need to, but because I choose to." In that space, love stops being a transaction. It becomes a collaboration, a harmony between two strong melodies, not one drowning out the other, but both playing in rhythm. When you reach this level, something amazing happens. You stop fearing rejection. You stop trying to prove your worth. You simply are, and that's enough. The truth is, love isn't about finding someone who completes you. It's about finding someone whose completeness amplifies your own. Anything less is emotional dependency. Anything more is rare but real. So don't settle for someone who needs you to feel whole. Become whole first, then meet someone who did the same. And when you do, that connection will be unbreakable, not because of fear, but because of freedom. Now comment below and own your growth. I build myself first, then I choose love. Number 8. Escaping illusions to become unshakable. You've heard the promises, you've felt the pull. That magnetic force that drags you into infatuation blinds you with beauty and whispers sweet nothings into your soul. But today, you've seen it for what it is. Not love, but illusion. Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat reality. He ripped the mask off love and showed us the raw, uncomfortable truth. Much of what we call romance is simply biology at war with our peace. And yet, in that harsh light, a new kind of power emerges, a power rooted not in fantasy but in clarity. When you understand that love is often just nature's tactic to keep the species going, you stop chasing every fleeting spark. When you see that beauty is a weapon evolution forged to enslave your reason, you stop falling for faces and start searching for character. When you admit that most relationships are ego-serving contracts dressed up in affection, you begin to crave something higher, something stoic. You begin to understand that your value doesn't come from being desired, but from being disciplined. That your peace isn't a gift someone gives you, but a fortress you build within. That the only love worth having is the kind that respects your boundaries, honors your solitude, and joins your journey without trying to rewrite your map. Because here's the truth. The man who cannot walk away will never be truly loved. The man who depends on love will always be a slave to it. But the man who chooses love from strength, not from hunger, he is unstoppable. Schopenhauer gave us the warning. Stoicism gives us the weapon. Together they show us how to reclaim our dignity in a world drowning in desire. So let this be your call. No more chasing, no more begging, no more breaking yourself to be enough for someone who never deserved you. Build your mind, guard your energy, and when love appears, let it enhance your life, not define it. Now speak out and comment below. I choose strength over illusion. I choose clarity over chaos. You came here thinking love was the goal, but now you realize love is the battlefield and clarity is your weapon. Schopenhauer didn't hate women. He didn't hate love. He simply saw it for what it was, a biological illusion dressed in poetry. He taught us that most pain in love comes not from rejection, but from expectation, from building castles in the clouds only to watch them crumble on concrete. But now you're different. You've seen the mechanics behind the magic. You've learned to value your peace over passion, your discipline over desire. You no longer need to be loved to feel whole. You've become the kind of man who chooses love without needing it. If you're ready to walk with awareness, like this video, subscribe and comment below. I master my heart, not surrender it. Stay sharp, stay centered, because the man who sees love clearly is the man who can love freely without being destroyed by it.